Hi students, coming to the next topic, asynchronous data transfer. Every processor or a system, we are going to communicating in two ways. That means asynchronous communication and synchronous communication. In synchronous communication is performed with the help of processor and memory units. For example, inside CPU, we have processor and memory and also registers. Suppose CPU, whenever it needs some data for the processing, that time this memory unit or registers will provide some data for the processing. So if the type of transfer is called as a synchronous communication, that means inside CPU we are going to expecting, that means synchronous communication. Suppose outside communication, for example like peripheral or IO devices. Suppose if you want to read some information from the IO devices, that time the processor will read some data from the IO devices. But here the processing speed of the processor and IO devices data providing speed, that means data accessing speed or data reading speed, is both are not equal. If processor and IO, and that means peripheral device, this means processor and peripheral devices, these both data accessing speed are not equal. The processor inside, that means inside CPU, so memory unit is there, that means registers are there. While it is a processing, memory sends some data content to the processor to calculate some operations. Same as it is, the registers also provide some data to processor to calculating some operations. In this case, the processing capacity, the processing speed is matched with memory speed, memory accessing speed and register accessing speed, but not in peripheral devices. So what will happen if the processing speed is not equal to the peripheral accessing speed? That means the peripheral is providing data, that time the speed is not equal to the peripheral data accessing speed. That time the processor waits until the data is read from the peripheral devices. That time the processor is wasting some time. So if the situation like this, or if the data transfer takes from the peripheral devices, this type of transfer technique is simply called asynchronous communication. Simply it is called asynchronous. If internal data transfer technique is there, that's simply it is called synchronous technique. In between processor and peripheral devices, we have in middle stage, that means IO module. IO module is a block, is intermediate block which is used to data transfer, which is used to connect these two devices to transfer the data from processor to peripheral, peripheral to processor device. So coming to this asynchronous data transfer technique, sometimes these IO devices is always needs some requesting signal or control signal to accessing the data. That means if it is request some signal, that time this particular IO device will enable or reactivated. That time this device will send some data content to the IO module. So the type of control signals, so who will provide the control signals or status signal to accessing the IO devices? Processor will always send some command signals or control signal to activate the one particular IO device from the external sources. That time this peripheral device will send some data content to the processor. This type of control signal is controlling the IO devices. What type of control signals are needed? In asynchronous data transfer technique, for data transfer purpose, we have two control signals are there. One is the strobe signal, another one is the handshake signal. In this case, we are going to observe what is meant by strobe control signal. So what is the need of strobe control signal in this case? So strobe control signal is used to enable or activate one module to transfer the data to the other device. So here we have two transfer technique is there. In this case, first source initiated and destination initiated. That means strobe for data transfer and strobe for data transfer. Destination initiated strobe means here source initiated strobe means source will send some strobe signal to the other device. Here destination initiated strobe means destination sends some strobe signal to the other device. In this case, let us see first one, and source initiated strobe for data transfer. First of all, this is the block diagram. In this block diagram, we have two modules are there. So first one is the source unit, second one is the destination unit. Always source unit is send some data content to the destination unit through this data bus. That means source unit will send some data values, and those values is placed onto the data bus for the transfer to the destination unit. So after placing the data on the data bus, again the source unit will send one more control signal to the destination unit. That means it will requesting to the destination unit. What is the request? Please take the data from the data bus. The type of requesting signal, already we have initiated one strobe signal. That means this source unit is controlling the destination unit. So this destination unit, until receiving the strobe signal, the destination unit acts as idle. After receiving the strobe control signal, destination unit comes into the picture. So after comes into the picture, it will read the data. Whatever the data is presented on this data bus, the data is read from the data bus and it is placed into the inside destination unit. This is the procedure is represented by timing diagram. In timing diagram, here first of all the source unit is initiated data on the data bus to transfer. First of all, it is placed. The first action is source units provide some data. The data is placed onto the data bus. That means this data is placed onto the data bus initially. Compared to this timing diagram, this time starts from here. This time starts from here. Initially, this line goes to enable state. That means it's the state, this clock pulse goes to 0 to 1 state. That means enable. The data is valid on the data bus. If the data is valid on the data bus, after data is valid on this data bus, the source unit will initiate one more control signal to requesting the destination unit. So that means after some time, the strobe signal is initiated. That means compared to this time is a little bit delay. So that the strobe signal is initiated and destination unit will receive that control signal. So after initiated, destination unit is received. After receiving the signal, the data will be read from the data bus. That means from strobe signal until the strobe signal equal to 1, this destination unit will receive the data. If the strobe signal is removed from the destination unit, that means if it is a control signal is valid, that indicates strobe signal is enabled. So if it is disabled, means the strobe signal goes to 0. That means if it is a valid, goes to 1. If it is valid, the logic pulse will shows that means high state, 0 to high state, 0 to 1 state. That means logic low to logic high. So if in the high state, the destination unit will receive the data in this period only, from this period to this place to this place. That means this time only, in this period only, this destination unit will receive the data. But the data is valid on the data bus from this period to this period. After removing the strobe signal from the destination unit, that means source unit sends one more disable signal. If it is disabled, after the source unit again it is removes the data content from the data bus. That means it get back to the that means data is removing from the data bus. The data is removing from the data bus. Again, this strobe signal goes on low state. So coming to this block diagram, this is the destination initiated strobe. In this destination initiated strobe, destination is sends first control signal to the other module. Here destination unit. See here, in the previous case, source unit will send one control signal to enabling the destination unit. That means it is a requesting signal. Please take the data from the data bus. That is the control signals we are receiving from the source unit. In this case, initially the destination is request some signal. Sorry, initially it requests some data. So if it is requests some data, the time destination unit is initiates first signal to the source units. Please provide some data content. The type of request we are receiving from the destination unit. So after receiving this control signal from the destination unit, the source will provide some data on the data bus like this. This data is carried like this. After carrying, the destination unit will receive the data from the data bus like this. Here in this timing diagram, first initially the destination is requesting some service. That means in the timing diagram, this is the initial step. The strobe signal is enabled. That means the transition goes from 0 state to 1 state. This is the enabled state. After enabling, after some time, in this case, the source unit will be received. That means after receiving that request signal, this data bus is placed some data content on the data bus. That means in this case, the data is valid in this period only. The data is valid in this period only. So the destination unit will read some information from the data bus. So if destination unit sends one more signal after receiving the data, again it sends. Suppose if destination unit is don't want to receive any information from the data bus, that time again destination unit will send one more strobe signal. That means disable signal. Previously it is requesting some enable to the source device. In this case, if it is a enable, that indicates 1 like this. If data is not needed for the destination unit, that time the signal goes to 0. That means no strobe signal is sent from destination unit to source unit. If the strobe signal goes to 0, this case, this source unit will not receive any control signal from the destination unit. That time the source unit will remove the data content from the data bus. Like this, the data is removed from the data bus. This type of transfer technique will be implemented with the help of asynchronous data transfer and also with the help of control signal. We are going to transfer source initiated strobe like this and destination initiated. Coming to the next signal, next control signal, handshaking signal. In this case, we are going to solve two problems. What are the problems we are identified in previous method? In the previous method, that means with the help of strobe control signals, we are going to identify two problems here. In this case, source initiated case, here the source unit that initiates the transfer has no way of knowing whether the destination unit has actually received data. That means in this case, the source unit is sent some data content on the data bus. The strobe signal is initiated, but the source unit does not know either a destination unit will receive it or not. So this type of confirmation signal we are not received from the destination unit. This is a one type of drawback. That means the source unit that initiates the transfer has to no way of knowing whether the destination unit has actually received data or not. This is the one type of problem we are identified from the source initiated. Coming to the destination initiated, the destination unit that initiates the transfer, but no way of knowing whether the source has actually placed the data on the data bus. Here, the destination unit is requesting some service, but source unit will providing some data or not. That means source unit will send data on the data bus or not. There is no confirmation signal we are received from the source unit to destination unit. So with the help of these two problems, we are going to implementing one more control signal, nothing but a handshaking signal. In this handshaking signal, we are going to solve these two problems. Coming to the handshaking case, here same like previous case, source initiated transfer using handshake and destination initiated handshake. Destination initiated transfer using handshake. Coming to the first case, this is the block diagram initially. Let us see the signals. The direction also very important. The source unit and destination unit. Initially, that source unit will provide some data on the data bus, first one, and again this source unit is enabled the data valid signal to the destination unit. Data is placed on the data bus. Again, the data valid signal is sent to the destination unit. That means data valid signal is sent to the destination unit. After receiving this data valid signal, this destination unit will receive the data from the data bus. After receiving the data, this destination unit again it sends data is accepted. Nothing but another confirmation signal is received from the destination unit to source unit. That time the source unit will know the destination unit is received the data from the data bus. This the data accept signal is received from the destination unit, nothing but an acknowledgement signal. So that if it is received, then it will send one more acknowledgement to source unit, the data is accepted. This is the confirmation signal. So this is the problem we have overcome from the previous case. Compared to this operation timing diagram, first initially data bus is placed some data content on the data bus like this. First this timing cases, this initiated data, the data is valid on the data bus. That means the next signal is data valid signal is initiates to the destination unit. After providing the data content on the data bus, this data valid signal is enabled from this case to this case. Next one, the data valid case, the data is received, this destination unit in this period. That means only this point to this point the data is received. After receiving the data, the complete data is received from the data bus. That time this data is accepted signal is sent from destination unit to source unit. That means after data is valid, if the destination unit will receive the data, this data accepted signal is enabled from the destination unit. These two signals are sent from the source unit. This signal is sent from the destination unit. Again, after data accepted signal is received from the destination unit, data bus is removes the data from the data bus. Again, data valid case also goes to disable state, because there is no data is valid on the data bus. That time there is no data valid signal is enabled. That time if it goes to disable, data valid control signal also goes to disable state. So here the sequence of the events, the above procedure will be implemented on the one by one. Let us see here source unit and destination unit. What are the actions here we are going to perform by using the source unit? What are the actions we are going to perform using the destination unit? In this case, first one, place the data on the data bus. This one, place the data on the data bus, enable data valid, enable the data valid signal. The next step goes to accept data from bus. That means accept the data from the bus. This is the second case. Enable data accepted. This destination unit is enable the data accepted. After accepting the data and enable data is enabled, accepted, enable data is accepted. Next one, the control signal, next operation control goes to the disable data valid. Disable data valid. That means no data is valid on the data bus. That means invalid data on the data bus. And final case, disable data accepted. So until data is valid, destination unit will receive the data. If the data is not valid, that time this disable data accepted. So if it is disabled to data accepted, then continuation, again it is ready to accept the data from the source unit. So that it is ready to accept the data from the source unit. So that the cursor goes to initial state. Because this destination unit is waiting, is there any control signal is received from the source unit. So that this operation control goes destination initiated transfer technique. Testing signal, please provide some data content, like this destination unit will requesting the service, some service to the source unit. Here the first case, the signal is first ready for the data. That means destination unit is ready. That time it is requesting. So that the ready for data control signal is, that means strobe signal is enabled from 0 state to 1 state. This timing is initially before these two requesting signals. That means ready for the data. Later this cursor checks data bus is carried some data or not. So this data bus again sends some data content on the data bus like this. After receiving data for the data control signal, again source unit will provide some data, parallel data, and it is placed into the data bus. If it is a parallel data is placed into the data bus, within seconds this source unit will send one more signal to the destination unit. Because previously destination unit is requesting some service. That time this data is placed into the data bus. The source unit sends one more control signal to the destination unit. Valid data is present on the data bus. So that after initiation of this data bus, valid data, this valid signal goes to enable state. So until data bus is valid, see here, here the next disable condition for as per this timing sequence. Here destination unit is remove the requesting signal from this ready for the data from this signal. That means destination unit is remove this requesting. That means this ready for the data is goes to disable. That time this enable state goes to disable. That means the transition is goes from this destination unit is needs some data. That time it is requesting. Otherwise there is no requesting signal were expected from this destination unit to source unit. That time this signal is goes to 0 state. If it is 0, there is no requesting signal. That time initially first source unit will remove the data content from the data bus. Remove the data content from the data bus. Again, if the data content is not valid, so that this data valid signal also goes to disable state in the same time. Here the same operation will be implemented like this. Initially destination unit is sends first signal to the source unit. This is the source unit and this is the destination unit. This is the requesting signal. Ready to accept the data, enabled ready for data. So sends requesting signal, it is ready to accepting the data. Next one, place the data on bus. Here source is send some data information to the data bus. Enable data valid. This data valid is enabled. Next point, accept the data from the bus. This destination unit will receive the information from the data from the destination bus. Data bus. Disable ready for the data. After receiving the data, next this destination unit is not requesting any signal. That means goes to 0. That means disable ready for the data. If it is the signal goes to disable, that time disable data valid. That means the source unit will remove the data content from the data bus. It is invalid data is presented on the data bus. That time the data valid signal goes to disable state. Here disable data valid, invalid data on the bus. Again cursor goes to the initial state. That means both are in, now it is ideal state. So it will checks initial state. If it is ideal state, again the cursor is checks and waits for the next procedure. So that means the cursor goes to initial state. This is the way we are going to transfer the data in between source unit to destination unit. Coming to the next case, in asynchronous serial transfer one character, for example from sender to receiver. In between sender to receiver or source to destination, whatever the case, here one module to another module. So through this data bus, suppose if you want to send one character, what is the character representation? How we are going to represent that character, either in packet or frame? So if it is a frame, or what is the general representation of the frame? So what are the fields are there inside that frame consist of? Here each character consists of 3 parts. Suppose if you want to transfer one character, here that character is consist of these 3 parts. Here one is start bit and data bits and stop bits. So what is meant by start bit? What is meant by stop bit? Start bit and stop bits both is added. That means this is a start bit and this is a stop bit. This is our original bits. Start bit is always represented as a 0. This one, it is represented in the form of binary. The length is 1 bit. In this case, stop bits is either 1 bit or 1.5 bit or 2 bits. It is also represented in binary, so that the length is maximum 2 bits, 1 bit or 1.5 bit or 2 bits. Always it is represented in one condition. That means the logic 1 state. So in between this position to this position, the middle stage is called as that means valid information. We are going to transferring this valid information in asynchronous serial transfer. We are going to adding the start bit, that is 0 case. We are going to adding one stop bit. These two are the extra bits. The general representation of this asynchronous transmission format. Suppose if you want to transfer the data from this transmitter to receiver, we are going to identify this is the character format. So here the making that complete character format is the start bit. Start bit is represented by zeros, and stop bits it is always represented by 1. From in between this stop bit and stop bit, so this middle binary sequence is called simply original valid data. This valid data is represented, that means character always it is represented by ASCII values. ASCII values, that means American Standard Code for Information Interchange. This is 7-bit code, and sometimes we are going to expecting EASCII code, extended ASCII, extended American Standard Code for Information Interchange, that is representation in asynchronous transmission. Here the sender is there and other module is the receiver. We are going to transfer like this. This is the character frame like this. This is the character frame. From in these characters we are going to expecting some gaps here, that means gaps between data units. So for suppose if you want to observe this simple character frame, start bit always represented by, that means 0, because we are sending like this. So initially we are identifying the start bit. So the 0 is initially, this is the start bit and this is the stop bit. So the middle in between middle data, it is represented as a valid information. Here the complete representation shows like this. Initially this is the start bit and this is the stop bit. In between these two start and stop bits, that is the valid data is there. This is valid ASCII character data. The direction, the flow of direction data flow from sender to receiver. Coming to the next, synchronous transfer format. In this case, from transmitter to receiver, we are using only single clock pulse. Transmitter to receiver. In binary case, different individual clock pulses. This clock pulse is different, and here another clock pulse is different for both sender and receiver. Different clock pulses are used. In this case, only single clock pulse is used to enabling the transmitter and the receiver at a time. In the synchronous transfer format, we are using direct data format. We are expecting like this. Each and every bit is called as a data. So simply the diagram, synchronous transmission from sender to receiver, we are going to expecting 8-bit code. That means 8-bit ASCII code. If you want to transfer one character from sender to receiver, we are going to, that means there is no gaps here from one frame to character frame to another frame, and there is no start bit and stop bits for this frame. So that is the difference in between synchronous and asynchronous. In asynchronous, start and stop bits are there, gaps are there. In this case, there is no gaps and there is no start and stop bits. Next one, in synchronous transmission, single clock pulse is used for both sender and receiver. In asynchronous communication, different clock pulses are used for sender and receiver case. This is the way we are going to transfer the characters from sender to receiver. Thank you.